Okay, we have found the Lord Regent sitting in the pavilion. In his hand is a teacup resting lightly on his thigh. On his face is the pensive expression of someone who thinks upon things times long ago. I discreetly clear my throat as I walk up to him. He turns towards me and smiles a greeting. Good day, my lord. Ah, young Rosencreuz, more dispatches from the front? Yes, here are this week's mission reports. I hand over the documents to the Lord Regent, who stacks them into a neat pile on the table. Much obliged. Thank you for your hard work, Valkii. Not at all, my lord, if you will excuse me. I'm afraid that I will not. I gape at him in mid-bow, causing his smile to widen. If you're so free, I would like you to take some tea with me this fine afternoon. Oh, certainly, my lord. The Lord Regent makes a polite gesture at the chair opposite him across the table. I take the cue and my seat. Take some tea. It's an exotic variant House Ouds gifted me recently. Thank you. And have a biscuit. How is everything going? Fine, my lord. I need to freaking cough again. Okay. I admit it has been a few quiet and relaxing weeks. That's great to hear. Now, you must be wondering why I had requested the pleasure of your company. I confess the question has crossed my mind. The Lord Regent dusts a few invisible crumbs from his uniform and leans forward. In the days of my youth, it is customary after a fixed term of schooling for tutors to advise the guardians of the academic progress of their students. It is indeed customary. As the guardian of their Royal Highnesses, I naturally take an interest in monitoring their academic progress. Very commendable of you, my lord. The Lord Regent raises an eyebrow. I flush. I mean, I find their academic progress in the field of magic entirely satisfactory. Oh, my throat is just so itchy. My heart rejoices to hear you say so. I imagine Seren must be a studious student. He is. He never fails to apply himself diligently to work, and can always be counted on to have a solid grasp of what has been taught after each class. How about Aurelius? His temperament is more mercurial than Seren's. If Seren's advantage lies in preparation and knowledge, Aurelius's advantage lies in intuition. I have rarely met anyone as quick on the uptake as Aurelius. He sometimes seems to intuit the point I wish to make even before I finish the sentence. Haven't we already heard that before? Aurelius is sharp, and that sharpness of his is a double-edged sword. True, he must learn to wield it so that it hurts his enemies and not his allies. How about Nazir? Of the three princes, Nazir is the strongest in terms of raw magic. He has the potential, should he wish to exercise it, to qualify as a fully fledged mage. I see, however, is Nazir progressing academically? Well, I'm sorry to say Nazir is not progressing quite as quickly as the other two princes. I thought as much. Although when you consider the amount of time he spends escaping the palace, the progress he does manage to make in his studies is frankly astounding. The Lord Regent laughs, and I heave an inward sigh of relief. He seems both amused and satisfied by my answer, and most importantly, does not appear to be angry at my favourite wayward prince. I have the feeling Nazir knows learning the theoretical knowledge of magic can never be his strong suit. That is why he spends minimal effort on those things, yet he perks up in lessons with practical demonstrations. He wishes to put his talent in magic to use, just as he wishes to be himself of use. That is my impression of his attitude towards learning. It is a surprisingly favourable impression. None of his previous tutors had anything but complaints to make about him. Perhaps they were only concerned with teaching Nazir, my lord. I am more concerned with having Nazir learn. I bite my lip and fall silent, worried I had overstepped my mark. Thankfully, the Lord Regent gives no sign of taking offence. He reaches over the table to clap me on the shoulder. Not many trouble themselves to look past Nazir's frivolous facade to find out where he shines. I'm glad it is you the High Council picked to be my nephew's tutor. Nazir is a good boy, Valkii, but a day may come when his brothers and I require him to be more than just that. He must be a prince. I understand. Perhaps it is my fault. How so? When he was young, he was such a lively little one I often took him away from the palace when I have business with the outside world. He loved to talk with the commoners, the craftsmen, the merchants, their children. No one was beneath his attention, and he had such a sweet nature. No one he speaks to could imagine themselves to be beneath his attention. I can well imagine that. Just so. His father did not like it when I took him out, but between Nazir and myself, the late king always allowed himself to be overruled. Sometimes I wonder if he were not right after all. Surely you can't mean that, my lord. Nazir is beloved by the commoners. It is good if he is loved, but above all, a monarch needs to be respected, and that... The Lord Regent shakes his head. Having the common touch bites both ways. If I may be so bold, I do not think you did wrong by taking Nazir out of the palace. Nazir has a spirited and carefree personality. He would not have benefited from sitting in a stuffy classroom all the time. By directing his attention to the people around him and their lives, you may have encouraged Nazir to interest himself in the needs and wants of others, rather than simply his own. And the royal family needs a prince who is a conduit to the people and beloved by them. And respected by them. It will come in time, my lord. So I hope. He rises to his feet, and so do I. I would love to stay and chat further, but duty beckons. It's been a most illuminating conversation, Valkii, much better than most I've had recently. Noble still uppity, my lord? The Lord Regent sighs and runs a hand through his hair. Noble still uppity, Valkii. Leaving me with these words and a rueful smile, he walks back in the direction of the palace. Sighing, I also return to my duties. Okie dokie. Right, we officially have fucking nothing to do. I feel like I should just do some missions for now. Like, I'm really ahead of what I need to do. Not super far ahead, but pretty far ahead. I can't do the ones that would... I can do that one. Let's make a tea extract, I guess. It doesn't matter how much it costs. It'll probably be fine. Haha. We've already done this one though, so... yep, accept the request. Yep, I guess. Okay. Another morning. Another day, another work-filled schedule, another pot of tea. Bending over the roll of parchment on my desk, I dip my quill into the ink pot and write a report about this month's spending on alchemy ingredients. Maybe I should request the Lord Regent to let me set up my own alchemical garden. It would be cheaper in the long run. I am not surprised to hear the clatter of boots pelting up the stairs, followed by the door slamming against the wall. Nazir, on his way to burst into my study again. My dear Valkii, splendid weather today, isn't it? Is there nothing I can do to induce you to knock? I am so abjectly sorry. I stop him before he leaves to knock on the door. What brings you here again today? You mean apart from your dulcet voice and enchanting face? You used that line last time. So I had. Didn't expect you to remember. Mind if I sit? Nazir plonks himself onto the chair. He hooks one leg over the other, crosses his arms and stares at me intently. You have a devilish gleam in your eyes. You wrong me, my dear Valkii. My intentions are pure as the down of an angel's wing and immaculately honourable. Ah. I lean back, also folding my arms. So, you have intentions. My dear Valkii, my dear Nazir. You must, purge yourself of prejudices, don't you know? And give me a fair and even-minded hearing. Sure. You see, Valkii, I knew you're an open-minded person. Why, thank you. The kind of person others like to count on when they're in a pinch. I do my best to serve. And it's great of you. I never stint in my praises. You're in a pinch, Nazir? In a manner of speaking. Look here, I have come today to ask, nay, to beg a favour of you. You astonish me. It's about the White Heart. I blink. Another fire? Of course not. Why do you think poor innocent Nazir to set fire every time? Pardon me. What is it then? I say, be a darling and go there with me these few weeks, won't you? Why these few weeks in particular? It's the first week after harvest season and so the busiest time of the year for taverns. Wouldn't it be a better idea to wait for the less busy weeks? But they won't need our help then. It takes a while for his words to sink in. Our help. Just so. In the tavern. The White Hart, to be precise. Serving drinks to sozzled farmers. You divine my meaning perfectly. Your Highness. My dear Valkii. We look at each other in silence for a few heartbeats. Why on earth? But it'd be fun. Yes, of course, naturally. Silly of me to ask. I'm glad we understand each other so well. And why me? Well, you see, I'm trying my best to. It will not go down too well in the palace if word somehow drifts to the Lord Regent's ear that one of his nephews is at the White Hart's most popular the White Hart's most popular waiter. You want me to cover it up for you? Gosh no, what a ludicrous notion. The nobles' network of spies let them get wind of everything. No use trying to conceal anything from them. Right, I understand. You do? You want me to cover up with you? Exactly. Talk you out of trouble when you get into it. And you always do it so well. You want me to be your accomplice. We must all hang together, right? Or we'll hang separately. Nazir grins sheepishly. I don't know if I ought to. As you are aware, it is illegal for nobles to undertake menial work, such as serving drinks in taverns. But it'd be fun, I know. The law is still the law. Surely it cannot be a mortal sin to let loose a little and poke around the capital's finest establishment. Not a mortal sin, no. And it would not be a mortal sin, a crime even, to let the helpless citizens of Eskia go thirsty after a hot and grueling harvest. It certainly sounds unacceptable. It is very good of you to agree with me, Valkii. It would be even better of me to help. You read my mind. Then you cannot help knowing that my intentions are driven only by the noblest public-spirited motive. And also because it'd be fun. That too. Won't you help me, please? Nazir looks at me with puppy dog eyes. Oh, all right, I'll help you. It's settled. Nazir beams at me, throwing up his arms in joy. I smile back. I guess it is. All right. I know we have items to go. Fuck. Oh, we have a while. We have a while to go, because I know that the fucking conditioner costs fucking 30. And what's the other thing they want? They want the wood, which costs 100, which is fine. That's fine. What should I do? Oops. I don't see any Nazir related things, so I guess we do a lesson. See you after the pause.